A number of Republicans are pointing fingers at President Joe Biden after the shooting of former President Donald Trump at a political rally on Saturday, with some citing Biden's recent statement that it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I've spent the past 3 years of my life arguing with Republicans about whether or not Donald Trump's rhetoric led to January 6th. They can never understand it. They can never understand how Donald Trump's rhetoric, him saying that every single institution is being stolen, we need to take our country back, Mike Pence isn't doing what needs to be done, we're going to lose our country and not have a country anymore. And then he holds a rally at the Ellipse, and then they walk over to the Capitol. The fact that they can't connect those dots, but they can immediately cherry pick one sentence from Biden tells me that these people are bad faith actors. They are so incredibly disingenuous that they act like they can't connect the dots when political violence is egged on by their side. But when political violence happens that we all condemn, we don't like, they immediately try to connect these lines. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Do we really think Joe Biden was calling for an assassination attempt? If he was, how come no one called this out in the moment? Senate Dems should take one of their assorted gun control bills off the shelf, rename it to something like the Trump Assassination Prevention Act, and force Republicans to do a talking filibuster to block it. That's a pretty good plan right there. Republicans would have to bend over backwards. They'd have to do live mental gymnastics in front of the entire nation, which would be great.
There's no figure in American history, at least in the modern era, maybe since Lincoln, who's been so vilified and really persecuted by media and, Hollywood elites, political figures.
Oh, my Lord. The victim routine. God, this was such a gift. This was such a gift for the Republicans. Like, I can't even lie right now. It's just kind of hitting me how much of a gift this is for Republicans. Because Donald Trump is somebody who his whole life has tried to play victim, but especially the past decade. He says that the Emmys were rigged. He says that the elections were rigged. The caucuses, the primaries, everything is rigged, is what they say. And, that people are persecuting Trump. Trial that he went through was rigged. They're going after him. And now it's like, okay, we finally have an example of somebody going after him. Yeah. Why did it take so long for the Secret Service to react? Why were those buildings not secure? Why was Trump allowed to expose himself again to pump his fist? There are 3 layers of security at an event like this. There's the primary layer, the closest one, that was the Secret Service agents that you see rush on stage, on camera. Those were his closest layer. There's a secondary layer of local law enforcement officers, the LEOs. Those people are usually local people, and they are the ones who secure the perimeter. You'll see them on the outside rings. You'll see them locking down the buildings. And then there's a third layer. Those are full of snipers. Those are long-range people. And what they're saying is that there was a breakdown in the second layer. So the second layer, the local law enforcement officers who are just surrounding the event, they must have allowed a breach at some point. Not a breach, but they must have allowed somebody to climb up on that rooftop. And that was a complete failure to secure that building. And something that's really interesting, I've been to a lot of MAGA rallies, and I was thinking, a lot of these rallies are only scheduled 4 to 5 days in advance. Like, I'm pretty sure this Pennsylvania rally was only scheduled about 7 days ago. So you could see a reality where in 7 days, they don't have enough time to prep this stuff. Mehdi Hassan said, "Don't let them gaslight you or guilt you tonight. Top Democrats, unlike Republicans, when the Pelosi's were almost killed, have universally responded with seriousness, soberness, condemnation, and empathy. Republicans could learn a thing or two about how normal people respond." This is totally true. Very well said from Mehdi Hassan. Melania Trump just made a statement about an hour ago, and it has 100,000 likes already. I mean, obviously she didn't write this, but it's worth reading anyways. It's the former first lady. She says, "I'm thinking of you now, my fellow Americans. We have always been a unique union." Okay, already, I'm one line in. There is no shot she wrote this. "We have always been a unique union. America, the fabric of our gentle nation, is tattered, but our courage and common sense must ascend and bring us back together as one. At least make it believable." Written by AI or Michelle Obama. Remember when Melania copied a Michelle Obama speech verbatim, word for word? When I watched that violent bullet strike my husband, Donald, I realized my life and Barron's life were on the brink of devastating change. I am grateful to the brave Secret Service agents and law enforcement officials who risked their lives to protect my husband. To the families of the innocent victims who are now suffering from this heinous act, I humbly offer my sincerest sympathy. Your need to summon your inner strength for such a terrible reason saddens me. At least make it believable. At least make it believable. I literally read the first line. I said, we've always been a unique union. And immediately that was a tell. Melania did not write this. A monster who recognized my husband as an inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passion, his laughter, ingenuity, love of music, and inspiration. Yeah, love of music? I doubt Donald Trump loves music. Donald Trump is so joyless. Love of music. His passion for, his love of giving to charity, of saving cats in trees and helping old women cross the street. That was almost taken away from us. Trump saved 3 people in a fire last week. Donald, the generous and caring man who I have been with through the best of times and the worst of times. Yeah, his love of minorities. Yeah, come on, Melania, no shot.
I'm sincerely grateful that he's doing well and recovering. And we had a short but good conversation. Jill and I are keeping him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victim who was killed. He was a father. He was protecting his family from the bullets that were being fired.
This is good.
And he lost his life. God love him. We're also praying for the full recovery of those who were injured. And we're grateful to the Secret Service agents and other law enforcement agencies and individuals who risked their lives literally for our nation. As I said last night, there is no place in America for this kind of violence or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation, everything. Mm-hmm. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all, but nothing is important than that right now, unity. We'll debate and we'll disagree. That's not going to change, but we're going to not lose sight, in fact, who we are as Americans.
Here's the shooter. It's really interesting. I wish I could flip this around somehow. I wish I could rotate this. So this is Trump speaking. Here's a crowd in front of him. The Secret Service were on the roof right here. The shooter climbs up on the roof over here. I agree, Hoot Johnson. Probably just a kid with a gun who had mental health issues. So the shooter, the angle is really interesting, and that's why you can see it whizzes by his ear. Like, we were so close to having a video. We were so close to having a video of Donald Trump just dying in front of a crowd, which I would never want. I would never in my life want that. I think that would be terrible for America, for the atmosphere of America. Trump has a family. Why would we want that? But that would be insane history. That would be insane history right there. If we had that, yeah. Like, we were very close to having that as the outcome, and we would be having a way different conversation today. We would be having an incredibly different conversation today.